I mean, Janet, I know your charity is very female focused, obviously well-being of women, but engaging men in all of this does seem to be a real key factor, doesn't it?
Absolutely, totally. And actually, a lot of men feel excluded, not deliberately, but they just don't know a lot about it. And I think the
Yeah.
words we use are normalizing the conversation. If we start talking about it, and there is a safe space for women to talk about their issues with someone who understands and will listen and won't judge them, then it's really going to help. Because one of the
Yeah.
things we found, we've done a lot of listening to women. We are led by women's voices. And the more that the menopause is discussed, then the more that destigmatization comes along, and women don't feel so nervous, anxious, or sometimes even scared to talk about it. But
Absolutely.
bringing men in is vital, and they want to be brought in. To be honest with you, once you give them the opportunity to learn and understand, it's going to help them, because after all, what we all want is to have a workplace that feels happy, that it's diverse,
Mm.
it's inclusive, and that we really are looking at the health and well-being of everybody we work with. And the other
Mm.
thing, of course, is it addresses the gender pay gap.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, you're right there that it is having those open conversations and normalizing the word. I remember interviewing a professor up in Leicester, and he said, one of the biggest things I can tell you is please say to everybody in your conversations every day, mention the word menopause 3 or 4 times a day, just get it in there. And I think, when we think back as employers, particularly with the workplace, how we didn't really talk about pregnancy, we didn't talk about breastfeeding, we didn't talk about postnatal depression. And it's only by talking about it, isn't it, that we can normalize it and take away this fear and this shame and this stigma and the embarrassment that we might feel, particularly with male colleagues and managers who aren't family after all. So, you are talking on quite a vulnerable level, aren't you? Kind of quite opening up here.